The following film contains material that may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Previously on Entangled.
Kiss me.
What the f?
So, are you going to tell me why you've been acting weird all morning?
Weird? I'm not acting weird.
And I told you about the AD feature, right? Architectural Digest, Mel. You and Jon would be front and center.
I want you to be the guest of honor. Your work deserves recognition.
Jon speaks so highly of you. I'm sure you've made quite the impression.
I still don't get why Jon brought that agent into this. We've been moving supply for years. We don't need him or his so-called expertise.
Ms. Banks, this is Agent Akamu, a friend of mine.
It's an absolute pleasure to meet such a goddess. Beautiful and so meticulously crafted, just like your work.
Do we think Mr. Hargrave is dead?
How can you be so callous? He might still be out there, alive. You've done an incredible job here. I would absolutely love to work with you sometime.
Things have been going well here, and I'd like to think I'm part of the reason why. If you needed to go to Paris for a while, I could definitely handle things here.
Okay, let's possibly cut a small deal. You met Ms. Banks tonight, didn't you? I need her away from my husband.
Well. Look who's back at Brightchester. I know that beautiful physique anywhere. I see you've landed yourself quite a high-profile client, Jon Manjaro. My company plans to publish a column on him soon. He's quite the interesting guy.
Can we talk? Just for a minute. I'll keep it short.
Jon, this isn't smart.
Maybe not, but it feels inevitable.
This is a mistake.
Then tell me to stop.
We can't do this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to push you. I don't know what's happening between us. It's like everything else fades when I'm near you.
You're married. You have a family, Jon. This isn't just about us.
I know, and that's exactly what I'm trying to explain. I've been alone in my marriage for years, and I thought I could make it work, but it's never been real.
Then why stay? If you knew it wasn't real, why stay married? Why hold on to something that's already dead?
I was young when I met Isabella. My father wanted me to marry quickly and start a family, the Italian way, he'd say, and I listened. I was inexperienced, naive, and eager to prove myself to him. My mother, she didn't have much of a say in these things. She's Senegalese, and while my father loved her during that time, his family, they never fully accepted her. Can you look at me, please? They always looked down on her, on us. She was so graceful about it, always holding her head high, but I saw it, and instead of fighting against their control, I folded. I did what they wanted because I thought that was the way to earn their respect. My whole life has been controlled by someone. First my father, then Isabella, then the image of what everyone thought I should be. I may seem like a powerful man, but in the end, I've just been a puppet on strings I didn't even realize were there.
And now you want to cut those strings? What does that even look like for you, Jon? Do you even know who you are without them?
I'm starting to. For the first time in my life, I'm starting to see who I could be. And it scares the hell out of me because it's not the man I was raised to be. It's not the man my father wanted or the husband Isabella expects. But it's the man I want to be. For me. For once, I want to choose. And when I think about what I want, I think about you. Of course, I know my situation is complicated, but every time I see you, talk to you, or even think about you, it's like I can breathe again, and I can't ignore that. I won't ignore it.
Do you even hear yourself? This isn't just complicated, it's impossible.
I know it seems that way, but
And what about me? Do you even know what you're asking of me? To risk everything? To open myself up when all I would ever get is hurt in return?
I would never hurt you, Mel. That's the last thing I want.
And yet, you might, because no matter how much you mean those words right now, I've seen how these things play out. I've lived it. Do you even know how my day went, Jon? No, of course not, because you came here and dumped all of this on me without even asking. I ran into someone today, the one person I never wanted to see again, my ex, my narcissistic, cheating, lying ex-husband. After my speaking engagement, I turned a corner, and there he was, looking at me like he still had some kind of hold over me. And in that moment, it all came flooding back. The betrayal, the lies, the manipulation, the trauma, everything I spent the past year trying to move on from. I thought I was past it. I thought I was stronger. But seeing him today reminded me how fragile it all still is. How easy it is to fall apart when you think you've got it together. And now here you are, telling me you want me, telling me your marriage is over, that you're ready to rewrite your story. And all I can think about is how much it's going to hurt when this falls apart. Because it will, Jon. It always does. I live in this big house, all alone, haunted by every mistake, every heartbreak, every piece of myself I've had to rebuild from my marriage. And now you want me to risk it all again? For what? For something that could break me all over again?
Mel, I didn't know. I'm sorry. You're right. I came here tonight thinking about how I feel, about what I want. I didn't stop to think about what you've been through, about what you need. I don't have all the answers, Mel, but I know this. I don't want to go another day pretending I don't feel this way about you. I'm willing to fight for this, for us.
And what if I'm not ready to fight, Jon?
Then I'll wait. For as long as it takes, I'll wait.
I heard you were looking for me.
Yes, we've got some things to discuss.
Sounds serious? Hargrave related?
Hargrave's disappearance is old news now. I trust you and the crew handled it as instructed. No loose ends, no questions left unanswered.
Loctite, no body, no evidence, his debts, his habits, everything's erased. To the world, Hargrave was just another washed-up addict who vanished.
Good. The last thing we need is a trail leading back to us. He was careless, a liability we couldn't afford.
He dug his own grave the moment he started borrowing from us and sniffing around where he shouldn't. We just helped him into it.
He's gone now, but his mistakes shouldn't linger. Stay alert. If anything surfaces, I want it dealt with immediately.
Understood, Smoke.
Anything else?
Hargrave's lover. What's his name? Woody. He was at the party. I wanted to keep him close, see if he knew anything.
And did he seem suspicious?
No. If he does know anything, he's not showing it. He seemed preoccupied. For now, he's just a kid playing house in Brindleton Bay. But keep an eye on him. People have a habit of asking the wrong questions when they're grieving.
Got it. Babysitting the lover. Anything else?
Paris. We've got a situation brewing. One of our buyers is making noise about a rival supplier undercutting us. I need you there to handle it.
Any leads?
Dufort. He's been too quiet lately, which makes me suspicious. Start with him and remind him why loyalty is non-negotiable. And if he's not the problem,
then I'll make sure the problem doesn't last long.
Make it clean, Marco. No complications. Hargrave was messy enough. And remember, we can't afford any mistakes right now. Not in Paris, not here. Everything's in place for Paris. I've arranged a flight for you. The sooner you handle this, the better.
Understood, Smoke. The beauties have arrived. So when's my flight? Smoke?
Today, everything's arranged. But first, I have to play the perfect host for this Architectural Digest spread.
All right, we'll start in 10. Let's make this perfect, people.
I've been calling you for the past couple of weeks.
John, this is neither the time nor the place.
I couldn't care less about the time or the place. I need to know why you've been avoiding me.
Is the ball not in my court? I needed time to think, John.
You're right. I'm sorry,
All right, we're ready to start. Let's get you both in place.
Of course, let's get to it.
Ms. Banks, this home is breathtaking. What was your vision behind creating such a masterpiece for the Manjaro family?
My vision was to design a space that feels luxurious yet personal. A home that tells the story of the Manjaro family. Every element reflects their love for culture and tradition while blending warmth and elegance. It's about creating a place that feels alive and timeless.
And John, what do you love most about this home? Why did you choose Mel Banks to bring your vision to life?
What I love most is her ability to turn a house into something much more. A home that breathes. Mel didn't just design this place, she gave it heart. Every corner, every detail feels like it belongs, like it's meant to be. Choosing her wasn't hard. The moment I saw her work, I knew she was the only one who could bring this dream to life.
That's quite the compliment, Ms. Banks. How does it feel to hear that?
It's incredibly kind. Designing this home has been an honor. Knowing it resonates with John and his family makes it all worth it.
She's being humble. I've been so impressed with her work that I'm hoping to collaborate with her again. This time for a potential pop-up store for my jewelry line, right here in Brindleton Bay.
That's so exciting. Mel, what do you think about that possibility?
It would be an honor to work with Mr. Manjaro again. His vision and dedication to his craft are inspiring. I'd love to explore how we could bring that same level of artistry to a retail space.
Well, it's clear this has been a perfect partnership. Thank you both for sharing your story.
All right, John, just a little to your left. Mel, turn your shoulders slightly toward him. Perfect. Hold that. You two look great together. There's such a natural chemistry here. It's going to make the cover absolutely stunning. All right, just one more like that. Perfect. Got it. Now let's bring in Isabella.
You never called me after the engagement. You always call me after an outing for our girl chat. What happened? Were you just too tired?
Not exactly. I ran into Josiah on my way out.
Ugh, that guy. What did that narcissistic jerk want this time? Another chance to make everything about him?
He's investigating Nathaniel Hargrave's disappearance. Apparently, since I worked with Hargrave in the past, Josiah thinks I'm some kind of gold mine for information.
Josiah and his so-called groundbreaking stories. One day, he's going to dig too deep and get himself into trouble.
My brethren, you rang? I did. Before I take off to Paris, I wanted to talk to you.
The grand send-off. Alright, what's on your mind?
While I'm gone, I need you to keep an eye on things here. Specifically that agent.
Still not a fan, huh? The guy's been keeping things quiet so far. Quiet doesn't mean clean. Something about him doesn't sit right with me. He's too polished, too calculated. I don't trust him. Fair enough. I'll keep my ear to the ground. Anything else? Yeah, John's been off lately. Distracted. Have you noticed? Off how? You mean all the AD interviews and press stuff? That's normal, right? Comes with the territory. No, it's not just that. This is different. It's like his head's somewhere else entirely. Maybe he's just tired of smiling for the cameras. Can't blame the guy. Or maybe something or someone is pulling his focus. Whatever it is, I need you to stay sharp. If anything feels off, I want to know. Alright, I've got your back. Anything else you need before you go? Just keep everything running smoothly. Paris isn't going to be a vacation, and the last thing I need is to come back to chaos here. Got it. Paris is all yours and I'll handle Brindleton. Good. And Henry, don't let Akamu charm you. He's got that used car salesman vibe and I'm not buying it. Noted?
If Josiah so much as shows up again, let me know. I'll handle him. You've got better things to focus on, like surviving this photo shoot. So, I overheard the interview. John's still harping on about that pop-up shop idea, huh? Looks like someone's a fan of your work.
It's a professional collaboration, Julia. Let's not read too much into it.
All of a sudden, that's an idea he wants to do? He didn't originally mention that when he requested your services during my first meeting with him. I'd say he wants an excuse to keep you around.
All right, let's get the whole family.
Thanks for coming by. It's nice to finally get started. Haven't seen you since the Manjaros' party. How'd you like it?
Wasn't really my scene, but I'm glad I went. Meeting you made it worthwhile.
Flattery already? You're off to a good start.
Honestly, being there reminded me of how much I miss Nathaniel.
You two must have been close.
Yeah, we were. He wasn't just a friend, he was kind of a mentor. I mean, most people knew him as this larger-than-life guy, but he had this way of making you believe in yourself, you know? When I was deciding between teams, he was one of the reasons I chose the Buccaneers. He kept telling me Brindleton Bay wasn't just a place to play, it was a place to grow. He said it could be a real home if I let it.
Sounds like he really believed in you.
He did. He saw things in people they didn't always see in themselves. Moving here felt like the right choice because of him. Now, it's just hard, you know, trying to move forward without him around.
I'm sure he'd be proud of you for the way you're handling things. And hey, making your home your own is a great start. I'm here to make that happen for you.
You're good at this, you know? Helping people feel comfortable.
It's part of the job. Always here to help. Let's talk about your vision. What kind of vibe are you going for?
You know there's been a lot of talk about Nathaniel since he's disappeared. Rumors flying everywhere.
Rumors? What kind of rumors?
Some people are saying he had a drug problem, that his disappearance might have been tied to it, like maybe someone he owed money to or something worse.
That's awful. Do you think there's any truth to it?
No, he wasn't like that. Sure, he had his demons, who doesn't, but a drug problem? No way. I think people are just looking for a story to explain what they don't understand.
Or maybe to distract from the truth. I'm sorry you have to hear that kind of talk about someone you cared so much about. Sorry, I need to take this. It won't be long. You can take a look at the swatches and boards I've laid out. Well, hello, Nate.
I almost thought you weren't going to answer.
Were you worried?
A little. Almost thought I blew my chance.
Busy day. I've got a new client here, and earlier I was doing interviews. What's up?
Interviews and clients, huh? You're really something, Miss Banks. But I was calling to settle some unfinished business.
Unfinished business, huh? Sounds serious. And here I thought DEA agents were supposed to be subtle.
Subtle's for work. When it comes to you, I'm all about directness. I've got the perfect spot in mind. A new lounge in town, great food, even better music. Perfect for dancing.
Wow, laying it on thick, aren't you? What if I said no?
I'd say I'm not worried. You're curious now, aren't you? Let me pick you up at 7 this Friday. You'll love it.
You're cocky, you know that?
Not cocky, confident, big difference.
Fine, but if this place isn't as good as you say, I'll hold it against you.
Deal. I won't let you down.
You better not.
Well, is it set?
It's set. Picking her up at 7 this Friday.
Good. Make sure it's convincing. I need her thoroughly preoccupied.
Preoccupied? Isabella, you make it sound like I don't know how to charm a woman. I've got this, trust me.
I trust you as far as I can throw you, Akamu.
Yes, and I just love how you enunciate my name. Makes me feel special.
Save your charm for the designer. Let's not forget what this is about. Now, tell me, what's the plan for the date?
Simple. I'll pick her up, take her to that new lounge downtown. A few drinks, great music, maybe even a little dancing to set the mood. Trust me, it'll be enough to keep her attention.
That's it? Drinks and dancing?
Now, Isabella. You're talking to a professional. I know what I'm doing. It's not about the setting, it's about the execution. And by the end of the night, she'll be hanging on to my every word, and maybe more. How are things on your end? Have you talked to Jon about me yet?
Not directly. John's been distracted lately, but I've been planting seeds. He knows you're useful. And that's enough for now. Patience, Akamu.
Patience, huh? You know I don't like sitting on the sidelines, Isabella. Is he home now?
He's not. He ran off with our son to do some bonding at the tennis court.
Sounds like the perfect time to get into his head.
Don't presume to lecture me, Akamu. I know exactly where to press. And when. Jon may be distracted, but he's not stupid. Subtlety is key.
Come on, Dad, one more game. You owe me for making me sit through that photo shoot today.
Your old man is just that. Old. I'm not as spry as I used to be.
Aren't you like, what, 40? You've still got the endurance.
Easy for you to say. You're the tennis athlete here. Give your dad a break. Come on, sit with me. You ready to start law school soon? Your old man's pretty excited about it. Criminal law, that's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine, but...
But what?
I don't know. I've always thought about taking over the family business one day. I mean, I wanted to be like you.
The family business? Did your grandfather tell you anything while you and Sophia visited last time?
Other than his usual stories about Paris and the old days? No, why? Is there something I should know?
No, it's nothing. Just wondering.
I want to run the jewelry business. You know, take it global, expand it even more.
Listen, Luka. The jewelry business, it's not as glamorous as it seems. It's demanding, it's cutthroat, and it takes more than ambition to succeed. You've got a bright future ahead of you in law. Focus on that for now.
Yeah, I get it, but I still want to be like you. You've built something incredible, Dad.
I appreciate that, son. But being like me isn't all it's cracked up to be. Just promise me you'll keep your options open.
Options, right. Maybe that's something you and Mom should figure out.
Excuse me?
You and Mom, you got options too, you know. This whole holding it together for the family thing, it's not working, not for you, not for her, and not for us.
It's more complicated than you think, Luka. Marriage isn't something you just easily walk away from.
Maybe, but you and Mom don't even try to hide it anymore. The tension, the looks, it's like you're daring each other to make the first move. And trust me, Sophia and I, we see it. We've been seeing it. Look, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, Dad. I just think maybe it's time to figure out what makes you happy, both of you.
Sometimes doing what's right for the family doesn't always feel good. But I hear you, Luka. I do.
Dad, who are they?
Probably here to talk business. Why don't you pack up for now, Luka? We'll finish this match another time.
Sorry to interrupt your game, Mr. Manjaro. I'm Agent Dom Smith, and this is my partner, Agent Nate Akamu. We're with the DEA. We're currently investigating the disappearance of Nathaniel Hargrave. Initially, our agency wasn't involved, but we've recently received a tip suggesting his disappearance may be heavily drug-related. Given his connections, we felt it necessary to follow up with some of the people who knew him.
Agents, I'm not sure how much help I can be. Hargrave wasn't exactly a close friend of mine, more of an acquaintance. We moved in similar circles, but I can't say I knew much about his personal life.
But as someone who might have interacted with him socially or professionally, did you notice anything unusual in the weeks leading up to his disappearance? Anything that stood out?
Not that I can recall. Hargrave had his vices. I wouldn't be surprised if they caught up with him, but that's purely speculation. I wish I had more to offer.
Of course, we're just covering all our bases, Mr. Manjaro. Sometimes people don't even realize they know something until we ask the right questions. If anything comes to mind, you have our contact information.
I'll keep that in mind.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Manjaro. We'll let you get back to your day.
Agent Akamu.
Henry, you always greet guests with that death stare, or am I special? Where's Jon?
He'll see you in his office. He's freshening up, but first, get naked.
Excuse me? Is this some kind of joke? I'm not wearing a wire. This a new way of saying you don't trust me, Henry? Or is this just for fun?
Unless you've got something to hide, I suggest you cooperate. Shoes, jacket, shirt, everything.
All right. No need for the theatrics. I swear to you, Jon, they're not onto you. Today was just a fishing expedition. They're grasping at straws, trying to piece things together.
Everything's under control.
Get up. I'm not sure what game you're playing, but let me make one thing perfectly clear. You don't with my business. You're supposed to be the eyes and ears, the man keeping things clean. And now, I've got the DEA sniffing around Hargrave's disappearance, right on my goddamn doorstep. Do you know what that means, Akamu? Doesn't matter. Have a seat. Since you clearly don't know how to follow instructions, I don't see the need for your services any longer. Henry.
Wait, I can fix this, John.
Welcome to Magnolia Luxe, one of the newest spots in Brindleton Bay. We pride ourselves on our modern twist on classic cuisine and a vibrant atmosphere perfect for an unforgettable evening. You've come on an exciting night. We have a special guest dining with us, Mr. Jon Manjaro, the renowned jeweler, and his wife. They've asked for privacy, so we kindly request all guests respect their space.
Well, well, isn't that Akamu and Ms. Banks, right? They look rather hot together. Good for him. Took him long enough to find someone. Anyway, can we talk about us now?
I didn't come here to talk about us. You said this was business.
Business? Look around, John. Do you really think I brought you here to talk business? This place is sexy. This is our date.
I shouldn't have come.
Suit yourself, darling, but don't let me ruin your night. You seem plenty entertained.
You look divine tonight, Mel. That dress, sculpted so perfectly, like it was made just for you.
Thank you. You don't look too bad yourself.
Not too bad? Come on, I think I deserve better than that.
Excuse me for a moment. I'll be right back.
So this is a date then?
I could say the same about you. Go back to your wife, John.
This isn't a game for me, Mel. I want you, and you know that.
I can't do this.
You're scared.
Of what, John?
Scared of how you feel.